Brian Little.
Japan.
Yo, what's up, Pride Nation? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit, and this is Keeping It Raw podcast. We're going to talk about running back Jamal Williams on today because he is having a phenomenal season right now. Currently, Jamal Williams is having his best NFL season in the NFL this season. Last year, he rushed for over 600 yards as a backup running back. This year, he came into it as the backup behind DeAndre Swift, and with the injuries and stuff like that derailing Swift, it pretty much gave an opportunity for Jamal Williams to get out there and showcase what he can do. And he's been phenomenal. You know, right now, currently, he has 668 yards rushing, and he is approaching 1,000 yards on the season. Now, none of us coming into the season thought that Jamal Williams would be the guy that would be close to 1,000 yards on the season. But it's only 7 games left. And I think if he gets at least 60 yards a game, I definitely think that Jamal Williams will ultimately, he'll stop that streak of what we have with not having a 1,000-yard running back. If he can stay healthy and he can stay out on the field, I think that he'll finally break the streak that was created by Reggie Bush, who did it in 2023. He was the last running back for the Detroit Lions to rush over 1,000 yards. And right now, the type of season Jamal Williams is having, he's only 332 yards away from having 1,000 yards on the season. And right now, currently, he is leading the National Football League with 12 touchdowns on the ground. So none of us thought that Jamal would have this type of season, man. You know, right now, when you're looking at DeAndre Swift, like I said to you guys before, the Lions are kind of using him in a way of a scat back. Look at the snaps that they're giving him. I know Swift is a little frustrated because he's back healthy and they're not giving him the ball. Even Justin Jackson is carrying the ball more than Swift. So I don't know if the Lions are fully trusting his health. DeAndre Swift, maybe he's still a little bit banged up and they're just trying to give him the minimum carries, but I don't know what's going on, man. We thought that Swift would be the guy to be able to get 1,000 yards on the ground. We did not know that Jamal Williams, his backup, would be the guy that actually is closing in on 1,000 yards. So this has been a phenomenal season for Jamal Williams. Even though the record of the Detroit Lions, we wish it was a little bit better, and we wish that they would have been able to close out some football games that they had an opportunity to win. And the record could be a little different, but right now you gotta play the cards that you've been dealt. And Jamal Williams, he's definitely been doing that, man. So I think that at the end of the season, I can see the Detroit Lions giving Jamal Williams an extension, maybe a 2 or 3 year extension. Now the biggest thing is what they're gonna do with DeAndre Swift, because I know that I know Swift is frustrated, man, with not being able to carry the ball that much, not even getting 10 carries. Not even getting 12 or 15 carries or anything like that. He's getting limited snaps. And pretty much Justin Jackson, who was on the practice squad, who is now pretty much the running back number 2, he's been getting more carries than Swift. So at this point, for DeAndre Swift, I don't know where things are going to go. I don't know at the end of the season if the Lions are going to decide to keep him and just use him in a scat back type of way, or would the Lions trade him during the offseason, or just flat out release him? You know, definitely Swift is talented. And I know a lot of people are saying you crazy. They're not going to release somebody like Swift. But if you can't stay on the field and you can't produce, the coaches have to make a decision. Sometimes you have to make the hard decision. You have to do the thing that you don't want to do, and that's get rid of somebody that you love their personality, you love their talent, but at the end of the day, production means everything in the NFL. And if you can't produce and you can't be out on the field, eventually somebody's going to come in and take your job. And right now, Jamal Williams is hungry, and he's having his best NFL season this year. So I think that the Lions are going to ultimately reward him with the new deal. Now, to me, I definitely think that the Lions should be looking for another running back as well, another young running back. I don't know what they're going to decide to do, though. You know, they could decide to keep Craig Reynolds and keep him and Justin Jackson, and maybe they part ways with Swift, or maybe they just keep Swift. You know, so it just got me thinking and pondering. You know, what are the Lions trying to do with Swift? Because right now, apparently, they're not trying to give DeAndre Swift the ball that much. And you can tell that, and I can tell that. If you're watching the games, Swift is supposed to be back from his injury, and the Lions are giving him limited touches. He's not getting a lot of touches out there. Pretty much the touches are going to Justin Jackson, and they're going to Jamal Williams, who pretty much is leading the league with 12 touchdowns on the ground. And if he gets 332 yards the next 7 games, because he got 7 games to play, and he'll be approaching that 1,000-yard barrier, and I believe that he'll do it. I believe if Jamal Williams can stay healthy, we're looking at a guy that we didn't think that was going to be the guy that would rush over 1,000 yards, but he is definitely not that far away from rushing for 1,000 yards. So the countdown is on with Jamal Williams to see what he's going to do, and ultimately, next year, the Lions are going to have to make some tough decisions. You know, do you bring back Jamal Williams? And I know most of the fans are saying, yeah, because Jamal Williams he's a fan favorite, man. He's one of those guys that, you know, he brings his lunch pail to work, and he just goes to work, man. He does what he's asked to do. And right now they're asking him to be that RB1, and he's doing it, man. He's not the most explosive running back in the league or anything like that, but he's just working hard, and he's just putting the work in, and you can't deny what he's doing out on the field. He's having his best career year as a pro. And normally when a guy is playing well like this, he's going to ultimately be rewarded at the end of the year. So if the Lions decide to, leave it in the comment section. What do you guys think? Do you think the Lions are going to re-sign Jamal Williams? Because I do. I think that they'll probably bring him back. What do you guys think that the Lions would do with DeAndre Swift? Will they keep him on the roster as a scat back, or will they decide to part ways and just keep Justin Jackson, maybe not even draft a running back at all, just keep Justin Jackson and Craig Reynolds, and maybe trade Swift to someone during draft season? So there's a lot of options that could happen, but right now I just don't see DeAndre Swift getting the touches. I don't see DeAndre Swift. He's had a couple of touchdowns off the limited touches that he has had, but I just don't think that he's going to be the RB1 because of his health. And if you're not durable enough to stay out on the field, then they're gonna have to make the tough decision and say, we love Swift, but we're gonna have to part ways with him, and maybe we can get like a 3rd or 4th round draft pick for Swift. I would say a 2nd round pick, but I don't think they'll get a 2nd round pick. Maybe a 3rd or a 4th. And the only reason why I say that is because I think that his injuries will be part of the reason why you wouldn't be able to get a 2nd round pick for him. So you'll probably get maybe a 3rd or a 4th, or maybe even a 5th for DeAndre Swift. Maybe you trade him to somebody and possibly get you a veteran linebacker or something. I don't know. But I know that Jamal Williams is about to probably break the streak that's been going on in Detroit for a long time. And the last running back that the Lions had that rushed over 1,000 yards was Reggie Bush. So I did not come into the season thinking in my mind that Jamal Williams would be at 1,000 yards and approaching 1,000 yards. But that's looking like what's going down right now. Jamal Williams has been healthy. Jamal Williams is playing his best football. He's been getting into the end zone. And what more can you ask but to reward the guy with the new deal in the offseason? So I definitely think, leave it in the comment section what you think that the Lions are going to ultimately do with Jamal Williams. Will they sign him back on a 1 or 2 year deal, maybe a 3-year deal? I don't know, because I know he's in his prime years right now. I think Jamal Williams is about 27. So that's around your prime when you're 27, 28-ish. That's when you are in your prime. So I think that the Lions will make the decision to bring him back because he is a fan favorite and he's been producing out on the field and he's been durable and he's been their most reliable running back. And when you're out on the field and you're making the transition of being able to do the things that you need to do like Williams have, then, you know, you're going to get the touches. So we'll see, man, what the Lions decide to do with DeAndre Swift. All right, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to Raw Detroit, and I'll be back with another video. Peace. I'm out of here.
Ryan Little.